Hey everybody, this video is in finding the mistake or find the mistake for two-step equations. So here we have an equation, 7 times the quantity y plus 4 plus 5 equals 32.5. So we're going to solve the equation, see if there's a mistake. So I'm going to start here. 7 open parentheses y plus 4 plus 0.5 equals 32.5. So in the first step, 7 times y would be 7y, and 7 times 4.5 would be, let's see, 7 times 4 is 28, and 7 times 0.5 is 3.5, so that would be 31.5 equals 32.5. Now, let's look real quick at this first step here. Well, it looks like they did 7 times y is 7y, and 7 times 4.5, it looks like they forgot to distribute this. Oops, sorry about that. So, because it looks like they forgot to distribute 7 times 4.5, but they did distribute it here, it looks like our mistake is right here. So it's in step 1, so step 1 is Taylor's mistake. Sorry, the pen got a little messed up. So, here, little jack-o'-lantern or something. All right, let's look at the next problem. So 9 times the quantity 2x plus 1/3 equals 39. So I'm going to actually do the work over here. 9 times 2x is 18x. That looks good. 9 times 1/3 is 9/3 or 3. So 18x plus 3 looks perfect right here. Equals 39. So step 1 looks good. Now we subtract 3 from both sides of the equation. And when we do that, 18x plus 3 minus 3 makes a zero pair, so it's just 18x equals 39 minus 3 is 36, so 18x equals 36. The next step would be to divide by 18. So divide both sides by 18. 18x divided by 18 is 1x, and 36 divided by 18 is 2. So it looks like step 1 is good, step 2 is good, step 3 is good. So Timothy, or some people would say Timothy, some of you know what I'm talking about. Timothy did not make a mistake. Let's try the next one. Okay, here's one. I already know what's going on here, but I, you have to understand that just because there looks like there's a mistake, you have to actually look closer before you do anything. Now, I usually teach you to take 1/4 times 1/3 k, and that would be 1/12 k, and 1/4 times 9, which would be 9/4, and the next step would look like that. But in this particular problem, I want to point out that there is no mistake in this first step, because no mistake here. Now, it doesn't mean there's not a mistake somewhere else, but there's no mistake in this first step. And the reason for that is, if you recall, if I do any operation on one side of the equation, if I add something, multiply something, divide both sides, divide something, if I do the same operation to the terms on the other side, I still have a balanced equation. And when I saw 1/3 k plus 9, and here 1/3 k plus 9, right away it said to me, wait a minute, they took this side of the equation and took that 1/4 and multiplied it by 4. All right, and the reason they did that is 4 times 1/4 is 1, and that got rid of the fraction outside the parentheses, so you basically have 1 times 1/3 k plus 9. But if I multiply one side by 4, I have to multiply the other side by 4, so 6 times 4 is 24. So I want to point out there is no mistake in this step. Now, could there be a mistake in the rest of the problem? Absolutely, but not in that first step. So it's just a different way of solving the problem. Now, Looks like they subtracted 9 from both sides. And if you do that, you get 1/3 k plus 9 minus 9 becomes just 1/3 k. That looks good right there. And 24 minus 9 is 15. That looks good. So 1/3 k equals 15. Now the next step would be you want to go from 1/3 k to just k. So you would take this side and multiply by 3 or 3 over 1, which would give you 1k. If I multiply one side by 3, I have to multiply the other side by 3, and 15 times 3, uh-oh, it's not 5, it actually should be 45. That's the answer that should be. So it looks like going between this step and this step, there's a mistake. So the mistake's right here in step 3. This should say k equals 45, not k equals 5. So the mistake is in step 3. Hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, nope, there's one more. Silly me. Is there one more or two more? Yep, just one more. All right, so here we have Jamie tried to solve an equation step by step, and there's the solve. So 2/5 n plus 7 equals 12. So first step, looks like Jamie subtracted 7 from both sides, and when she did, you get 2/5 n equals 12 minus 7, 5. So far, so good. Now, to go from 2/5 n to just n, you got to multiply by the reciprocal of 2/5, which is 5 over 2. 5 over 2 times 2/5 equals 1, 1n. Well, if I multiply one side by 5 over 2, I've got to multiply the other side by 5 over 2. And if you look closely, this is 5 over 1 times 5 over 2, which is 25 over 2. So right here, instead of n equals 2, it should actually say n equals 25 over 2. So the mistake is right here in step 2. All right, so that's where the mistake is. Hope you enjoyed the video.